Hello and happy 2025 gardeners. It is already time for me to start my seedlings. Here is my seed stash. I keep it in alphabetical order to keep my seed packets organized each growing season. Here are the varieties of seeds that I'm going to be starting today. I have here 3 different types of alliums. This variety of marigold called White Swan, artichokes called Taver, and some celery called Tall Utah. Here are my supplies. I prefer to use larger seedling reservoirs to avoid needing to bump them up down the road. These next ones here that I have, I've used for a few seasons now. They're wonderful. They are not just soft bottom, but as you can see, they are also clear, which helps me keep an eye on the root systems of my seedlings very easily. And as a bonus, they also came with these little humidity tops. They just pop right on. So I'm not going to be using these today, but I also have these open bottom reservoirs from Gardener Supply. These are awesome for transplanting because of the open bottom. And something that I added, which is not necessary and I don't actually use it all the time, is a wicking mat and a tray, so that way I'm able to water from the bottom. And these last trays here are from Burpee. I use these quite often, closer to my last frost date. And again, because of the soft bottoms plus the clear individual cells, it makes seed starting very easy to manage. And also with the matching trays, it makes watering super easy. To keep my seedlings identified while they are germinating, I will use tape and a Sharpie, so that way I can label each one of my varieties. I also have water so I can pre-moisten my soil in this tote, which will help with water retention. And here is where the magic happens. This is my humble seed starting rack. I will probably end up using the upper 3 racks fully by March, and then these bottom 2 sections here I just use for storage. So the lights that I use are nothing fancy, but they get the job done. They're just from Amazon. They're LED. I can adjust them with these chains as I need, which is very helpful to prevent my seedlings from getting leggy. But also this room is south facing, so these seedlings are going to get a ton of both artificial and natural light. Okay, so I'm going to begin with my seedling mix. You can use whatever kind you prefer. I'm going to add moisture to it, little bits at a time, until I find the right consistency that I am looking for my seedlings. And when I say consistency, I mean adding enough water to help bind the soil together, but not drench it to the point where it's dripping. Here you can see I am squeezing the soil and seeing how it sticks together, but also how much water squeezes out of it, which a lot is. So I'm going to continue mixing it. I won't add any more water, and I'll test it again, and that looks pretty good. It's not dripping, and the soil is clumping well. With that soil mixture, I can now gently but also firmly pack soil into my reservoirs to prevent air pockets, but I also don't want to overpack the soil, causing my seedlings to struggle with their root development in the future. All of the seed packets that I'm sowing today recommend a 1/4 inch depth for planting, so that makes my life a little bit easier. I'm just going to do that for all of them, and I will just use the tip of my finger to press a little indent in for the seeds, and then I just go ahead and place the seeds into that little hole that I made, and then lightly cover it up with the soil around it. This is the celery seeds. They were super tiny. Next up is the Taver artichokes, and again, those will just go a 1/4 inch down into the soil, and I will lightly cover them. Next, I have my deep purple bunching onions. These seeds struggled when I direct sowed them last spring, so I'm going to try this route this year and we'll see what happens. And with this seed variety, I will sprinkle the seeds across the top of the soil, then top off the seeds with a little extra soil and press them into place. And to add some pretty color to the garden this year, I want to start more annuals from seed. This is a White Swan Marigold. And finally, I am sowing 2 varieties of onions, both Walla Walla and Sweet Spanish. These varieties can take between 110 and 120 days to fully mature, so they were the main reason why I was starting my seeds today. I didn't have the best luck with my onions last year. The seeds that I had didn't germinate. The plugs that I purchased for an unfortunate amount of money really did not amount to anything, so I'm hoping that this year I have much better luck. Additional tips for starting seeds: know your growing zone. I'm a zone 6. Know your last frost date. Mine is April 27th. And read the information on the back of the seed packet, because it does matter. Since I mixed my soil in this tote, all I need to do is pop a lid on it, and this soil can be used again when I start more seeds in a few weeks. And although the soil is already pre-moistened, just mist them in just to really settle them into place. My last 2 tasks are just labeling every single variety that I sowed today and just to pop humidity domes on the top of them. Once those seeds sprout, I will remove the humidity domes. And here we are. First round of seedlings for 2025 are started. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that this video was either inspiring for you to start your own seedlings, or at least helpful for when you do. So until next time, happy seed starting.